How's the Siler City rental market in 2019, and what's the average price houses are renting for?
Oh, that's a good question. So certainly Siler City has gone up a bunch because of some recently developing employment situation. There's a poultry processing plant that has hired hundreds and hundreds of workers, and so that's had a huge impact. It's not only had a big impact on the rental market, but it's had an impact on the sales market as well. Excuse me. We used to be able to find houses all the time in Siler City for $30,000, $40,000, and $50,000, and you know, a baseline rent. I mean, you're not gonna find anything to rent for less than $350 or $500. So those were definitely hitting the 1% rule. It's very difficult to find a house in Siler City for less than $100,000 now. If it's less than $100,000, it is wrecked. There's a lot wrong with it. So our rents have gone up incredibly. I think a basic apartment in Siler City is going to be in that $450 to $600 range. A basic house in Siler City is probably going to be in the $850 to $900 range. And then, you know, like Pittsburgh, once you get over 1,200, it starts getting a little bit rough again. Siler City does have dozens, if not hundreds, of actual apartment rentals. There are several apartment complex communities in Siler City that Pittsburgh doesn't have. I mean, Pittsburgh has one. It has a 55 and older right now, and it's building another. But there's not a whole lot of apartments for rent in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's some of the Pittsburgh planners previously were very anti-multifamily. They felt as though multifamily was stigmatized, and they didn't want that in the Pittsburgh community. I think the new town planner and the new government has an idea that we certainly need affordable housing and rentals in the area. Going back to Siler City, very, very hot rental market, and there are very, very few vacancies. Siler City, most things are renting within a week.
Really? Mm-hmm. So what's the sweet spot to get something rented in a week?
Siler City, you probably need to be in the 600 to 775 range. And so, and one of the things we look at rent as we do mortgages. You want to be somewhere between that 33% and 25% of income. So, you know, a $700 rental, just real close numbers. That's someone that's bringing in about $25,000 a year, and that's probably the average income in Siler City is a little bit lower than what Pittsburgh is. So at $1,200, you know, you're going to be between $35,000 and $40,000 a year in income, and you know, I mean, one of the hard truths of most rental situations is the reason why they're renting is because they're not in a position to buy right now. Now, they might not be in a position to buy because of credit. They might not be in a position to buy because they're not going to stay here for a while, or they just might not be in a position to buy for some other circumstance or whatever. But one of the same influences on what people can afford for rent is very similar to what people can afford with a mortgage.